Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. I'm Linda Karnauskas, and we want to thank you for joining us on this Monday, March 21st. We have an informative show for you today. First, we're going to be talking with our Mayor Tom Kuntz, and we're going to be getting an update of the City of Owatonna. And then later on in the show, we're going to be visiting with our friends from Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, joining community forces. And we're going to be talking with Sarah Frazier and friends. So you'll want to stay tuned for that, a very interesting discussion. To all our viewers out there, I want to talk to you personally. I want to invite you to call in and let us know or contact us via email at owatonnatoday@charter.net. Maybe you know of someone who has a unique talent artistically, or maybe who's just plain wonderful and serves someone in and out every day, or maybe you know of a special event coming to your area. We would love to hear from you. You can call us, the show producer, Leanne at 390-5751, or again, contact us via email, owatonnatoday@charter.net. Well, we're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with our very own Mayor Tom Kuntz. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
If clothing catches fire, stop, drop, and roll. If your clothes catch on fire, do not panic and run. This only fans the fire. Stop where you are, drop to the ground, and roll over and over to smother the flames. Cover your face with your hands to protect your eyes and your throat and lungs from the burns. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And we're happy to have in the studio this morning Mayor Tom Kuntz. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, thank you. You know, Owatonna is such a great community, so it's always a privilege and honor to come and talk about Owatonna.
And it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Well, thank you very, very
I'm
much.
amazed at how much business you cover.
It is very enjoyable, from going to Washington, D.C., to going up to the state capitol, to doing city business in Owatonna. So.
And then you come and visit us with the city updates. I'm just amazed for the size city we have, how there's such due diligence behind the scenes by so many. The council, you know, even our own Leanne Alt, she goes and she even videographs those council meetings. So it just takes a village, doesn't it?
That's what I say. Owatonna is a city like no other. It's just a great community to live in. So.
Yeah. Well, how about giving us some updates on what has been happening since the last time you were here?
Sounds good. A couple things that happened on February 29th. We had to move our meeting up because of the caucuses, so our meeting was on Monday instead of Tuesday. And before the council meeting, we had Kyle, our city engineer, do a little report on our pavement maintenance. And one of the things they've done in this last year was went around and did a quick and dirty survey of all the streets and everything in Owatonna. And they identified which streets are in excellent condition, which streets are in need of maybe a seal coating, which streets are in need of maybe an overlay, and which streets aren't capable of having an overlay or a seal coat or anything that need total replacement. And as I said, it was quick and dirty, but in that report, there was about 18% of our city streets that need total repair. So that is a pretty huge percentage of streets in Owatonna that we got to be able to find in our budget and repair in the years to come. What they're going to do with that information now is they're going to break it down into sections of town and do a more detailed survey of those streets. And once that detailed survey gets done, they'll bring that back to the city council and try and identify how we are going to make the repairs, how we're going to budget for them and stuff like that. So
the detailed reports on these streets, when would an assessment come into play for a resident?
And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about is assessments, and do we want to totally fund it without assessments, stuff like that. So all those are discussion items that will take place in the future.
And then would the area it's going to affect, would those residents be notified for discussion?
That would all be notified in addition to discussion. The challenge that we have is today assessments take place on street repairs, if we change the program, how do we end one program and how do we start the other program? And you're going to have the ones that we end the program with that pay the assessments, and the ones that start the program that don't have to. We got to figure out a way to put all that in place yet. So I think the major thing that we want to accomplish before we get to all those discussions is go back and really do a more detailed assessment of our streets. And as we're getting into spring and everything, you know, potholes are more and more noticeable and everything, and we try to repair them all. But if you've got a pothole that's not being attended to, just call the city engineering department and give them that information. They'll come out and try and take care of it.
When is a good time to contact the city as far as the street? Is it crumbling, falling apart? What would?
Call them if you got a problem. Call them between 8 and 5, and they will be happy to take that information and give you a better report of when we can address it and how we would address it. So
It's good information.
you betcha. The other thing is Alliant Energy served southern Minnesota, and Alliant Energy decided that it was going to pull its service out of southern Minnesota and keep it in Iowa and other areas, and that service went to Steel-Waseca. So we had to authorize the transfer of the franchise from Alliant Energy to Steel-Waseca, and we did that at the 29th meeting. So no more Alliant. Everything is that was served by Alliant is now served by Steel-Waseca.
Okay.
A couple of the other things that we had going on in our meeting on the 15th was that it's always coming to the point where what streets are going to get done in 2016. And bituminous pavement and rehabilitation on Olympic Hills Place Northeast, 30th Place Southwest, 22nd Street Southeast, Cedar Avenue to 4th Avenue, Cedardale Drive Southeast, 22nd Street Southeast to Hartle Avenue Southeast, and then stormwater improvements on Crestview. So that's some of the areas that we'll be looking at in 2016. As these come closer, if they haven't already been done, they will have neighborhood meetings and everybody will invite it to their input and everything as we go forward.
I noticed a lot of that is on the southeast side. Is that due to the 2010 flooding?
They are going to be doing a stormwater improvement in the southeast side of town. As you drive down in heavy rains and everything, from the fairgrounds to the front of the bowling alley, that street would always fill up. So they will be running a new pipe in order to solve some of that from the bowling alley side down to the south a little bit farther, get that water to go in that drainage ditch that goes down. And so that's why a lot of these are done on the southeast side of town. One of the interesting things you always talk about, and we get a report every month on building inspections and building construction and everything. And in 2015, through the end of February, there has been 196 permits issued. The value of the permits were $3,700,000. In 2015, there was only 188 permits, and the value of that was only $936,000. So you see that in 2016, the building construction has gone up. I can't say it's gone up in single-family dwellings, but commercial projects went in 2015 from $249,000 to this year it's $1.5 million. So there is a lot of construction taking place in Owatonna in 2016. Darren Stadheim, or Stadheim Properties Incorporated of Owatonna, came and they're going to be building a storage house, a storage facility. You see some of those around town and some of those properties, and this one's going to be on Brady Boulevard. It's kind of where the new Hardee's and that type of stuff is out in that area. So there will be some single stall garage type stuff, storage going in out there, and he will also have an office complex in that area. Sometimes there's sewers that get replaced and stormwater and stuff like that. And sometimes the bills on some of these get a little bit more than the family can afford. And so there is a process in place that you can come to the city and request the city put that on the tax roll, and you pay that over a time period if you have a hardship condition. And that's what we did with one of the properties on Main Street. $7,000 went on the tax roll, and they were taken care of. The city takes care of it right away, and then invoices over the 10-year period, that time period.
Could you give us an example of what would constitute that?
If you have right now the Owatonna Public Utilities is pretty much taking care of broken water mains. But if you have a not a sanitary sewer drain coming out of your house, and you have to go into the street to repair it because something broke or the clay tile did something, and that's an unexpected cost to you, and you can't afford that cost, you can put it on the tax roll by coming to the city and asking them for that assistance.
Okay, it's good to know.
Owatonna Park and Rec Department is putting in a grant to do the trails on the North River Straight River Project Trail. They try and to, right now it's just got regular asphalt, not asphalt, but the regular coating on it. So they want to get that upgraded and hard seal that trail. The other thing I maybe want to get into is, and I'm getting short on time, is that on the end of April, all of our committees and different commissions get their terms come up, some of them, and so some of them get to replace. And so we have several committees that give access and give aid to the city council. And so I'll just read through some of those. The Airport Commission, and the Airport Commission plans and promotes and encourages development and utilization of the municipal airport. So if you're interested in serving on the Airport Commission, let me know. Civil Service Commission, Downtown Park and Advisory Commission, study and make written recommendations to the mayor and council on matters of public parking. You know, should it be a 2-hour parking? Should it be a 12-hour, 24-hour parking? Where should all those go? So this committee really takes a study of that and makes recommendations back to the city council. Economic Development Authority, Housing Real Development Authority, Human Rights Commission, Park and Recreation Board, Planning Commission, Public Library, Public Utilities Board, Shade Tree Commission, West Hills Commission. All of those are committees that you can volunteer to serve on. They all help make recommendations back to the city council, so the city council doesn't have to do all the homework on those, and it gives you an excellent way in order to become involved in city government.
So if one of those interests you, give you a call.
If one of those interests you, send me an email, give me a call, whichever way it works.
You can kind of help them figure out which commission would be
We'll give them more information and go from there.
would be suitable.
Yeah.
In just a few seconds, could you give us just an insight as to commission work, how many times a month it would meet? Or
Most of the commissions only meet once a month, and they
Okay.
usually meet after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 6:30. And there's a set agenda you go through at that meeting.
Okay. So if you're interested, see our mayor or give him a call. Okay, we're going to take a break. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. So please stay with us. Did you know there are families in Steele County that go to bed hungry every night? This is Stormy Traum, Director of the Steele County Food Shelf, reminding you that March is Minnesota Food Share Month. So far this year, we have provided food to over 1,086 Steele County households, and the need continues to grow. Please help us keep our shelves stocked with nutritious food and donating money or food items to the Steele County Food Shelf. Our goal is to raise $100,000 this March. No one in Steele County should have to go to bed hungry. Thank you for your generous support of the Steele County Food Shelf.
Welcome to Bremer Bank. I am Jason Iberg.
And I'm Shannon Pedersen.
Bremer is a full financial services bank.
We invite you to stop by Bremer Bank and experience the Bremer difference.
You are always welcome at Bremer.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
I'm Bill Owens with the Owatonna Business Incubator. Whether your business is just starting out or is expanding, we have the office space and manufacturing space that you need. As the Small Business Counseling Center for this region, we are able to help you in your expansion or your startup of your business. We are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And we're here with the Yellow Ribbon Campaign and Sarah Frazier, who's a contact for our local chapter. And then we're also here to learn about Beyond the Yellow Ribbon and joining community forces. So, hi everyone, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Why don't we start this way and introduce yourselves to our viewers and what each of you, a little bit about each of yourselves, and then maybe what your involvement is with the different campaigns.
Okay. My name is Sarah Frazier, and I am the chair of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. We were proclaimed in 2011. We started the process in 2010. It's quite a lengthy process to become a Yellow Ribbon organization. I live in Blooming Prairie and work in Owatonna.
And congratulations for getting us on board. And as we hear more about it, we are going to really appreciate your hard work when we hear what's offered as we go on in the program. And then next, yeah.
I'm Annette Kuyper. I'm Director of Military Outreach for the Minnesota Department of Military Affairs, and I oversee Minnesota's Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program on behalf of the Adjutant General's Office.
Good. And yourself?
I am Sergeant First Class Jeff Dahlen. I'm the Readiness NCO for the Owatonna and Mankato Armories, and I am the military point of contact for the Yellow Ribbon for local soldiers to connect them to Annette and to Sarah here in Owatonna.
And thank you for your service.
Well, thank you,
and
ma'am.
doing all that. That's such an important link. Sarah, what is Beyond the Yellow Ribbon? And if you could relate a little bit more as to the different programs.
I'm going to let Annette speak on that, and then I will follow up with what we have been doing as an organization.
Well, Beyond the Yellow Ribbon started in Minnesota about 2008, and it challenged Minnesota communities to create a community organization that supports service members, veterans of any age or era, and military families. So we ask your community to form a steering committee made up of key areas within the community, to take a look at the resources you have within your community, and to synchronize those efforts in support of our military-connected residents. And to date, we have 98 networks in 219 cities and 26 counties across Minnesota. And the program has been so successful in supporting and really uniting communities to support our military-connected residents that it's going national, and other states want to emulate what Minnesota has done.
I can see through going beyond the Yellow Ribbon and joining the Yellow Ribbon, if your city gets the certification, thank you for doing that, a whole door is opened, a door to so many organizations and so many services that are offered out there, correct?
Right, and it allows a statewide synchronization of efforts. So we can connect resources to our Yellow Ribbon networks, we can educate them on how to connect homeless veterans or how to connect military families in need to resources that are national, nonprofit, statewide resources, but also connect them to resources you have in your own community.
Which brings us back to you, Sarah.
Correct.
What kind of resources do we have here in Owatonna? Now, you began the program in 2011.
Correct.
And it's grown.
Yes.
So if you would share with our viewers what's offered.
Our group, our volunteers, we provide the things that we work with families during deployments. We work with soldiers when they come back. We work with family members, moms, dads, husbands, wives, and we've done lawn care, snow removal. We've done referrals to the Family Assistance Center. We've done cleaning, painting, child care. We provided car seats. There was a mom who was going down 35. Her husband had left for training before deployment, going down I-35, and her car catches on fire. She gets her children out, but the little things like car seats we were able to provide for her that she didn't have to worry about. We provided a set of stairs. We have a volunteer who's great with woodworking. He built a set of stairs going from garage to the house for a World War II veteran so he could stay in his home. We had a family out of Waseca. They didn't have a Yellow Ribbon group at the time, and their soldier was hurt overseas. And we provided assistance so they could get to Walter Reed to support him during his recovery.
Wow, how wonderful. Now, Jeff, what are some of the things you do to support Sarah here in Owatonna or the program in general?
Well, one, the military is a foreign language to a lot of civilians that have never been in it. So I'm like a translator when they talk military lingo, I can go to Sarah and say, no, this is what this means, and I can help describe that. And I also help link our National Guard soldiers to their local communities in their Yellow Ribbon programs. So if I hear a soldier that is having concerns or whatever, then I'll ensure them that they know where the resources are. So I'll connect them.
Say there's a young couple, and there's many programs that are offered through the Yellow Ribbon campaign and beyond the Yellow Ribbon. For instance, initial reintegration training. If you could kind of explain about that a little bit. When would that be applied?
Sure. I've deployed 4 times, 2 times without the Yellow Ribbon and 2 times with. Since the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program has stepped in, they've really stepped up their initiatives to help educate families and spouses of service members before they leave to some things that they expect. And it's helped ease that anxiety that families may experience. And it also lets them know that there's people right here in the community that respect and understand what they're going through and are willing to help them.
Another thing we were discussing earlier is that a young couple just married, of course we get our finances in order, now we're becoming a couple, and we get our budgets together, but one of us or both of us could be deployed. So there's also a thing that you help people with, and that's called financial readiness. So are those special classes that are offered or advisements?
Yes, there's financial literacy courses that we offer at the state level and access to resources, but we also ask the local community networks to find those resources within the community as well.
I was just amazed at the website out there and all the programs offered, from teens to parenting skills to whatever, and then we come on the local level. And if our husband was deployed in November, and I have 2 small ones at home, we don't have a snowblower. So, and we'll get to volunteers as well, right?
Correct.
You need some volunteers.
Yes, we are looking for volunteers.
Let's talk about the Joining Community Forces Conference that's coming up. Annette, why don't you let everyone know where that's going to be and what that entails?
Sure. Well, once a year we bring all the Yellow Ribbon networks and service providers together to build relationships, to update on initiatives, and to share best practices. So we hold 6 Joining Community Forces conferences across the state. The next one is March 31st in Albert Lea. That's probably the closest one here, but we also are holding them in Marshall, Brooklyn Park, Detroit Lakes, and Proctor. And we really bring everyone together to see what we can do to further reduce redundancies and to build relationships across the state. This year we have mini sessions in mental health, suicide prevention, family assistance centers. So it'll be a great event to bring everyone together and to share with all our other communities the great work that Owatonna is doing here.
Could you give us the specifics on the Albert Lea one there?
Sure. The Albert Lea one is going to be at Wedgewood Cove Golf Course on March 31st. And on our website, beyondtheyellowribbon.org, you can sign up, and we welcome anyone who wants to participate in supporting service members, veterans, or military families to attend.
Now, is there a fee in charge?
There's no fee, and lunch is included. We just ask that pre-registration so we can plan for the meal.
Okay. Now, Sarah, let's talk a little bit more about our local programs and volunteers. If somebody was interested in being a volunteer for the Yellow Ribbon campaign, what's involved there?
It's if you can mow a lawn, if you can rake some leaves. It's manual labor, but it's great work.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to volunteer, would it be any babysitting involved, any child care? And, I'm trying to think of the whole needs of a young family, a middle of the road family. Maybe there's children in junior high and dad's deployed and mom's a working mom.
Yes, yes. We've done childcare before. We've done childcare for a National Guard family. She was home. Husband is at training, and we were able to provide childcare so she can go have coffee, get a break.
Okay. So basically, to be a volunteer, you're saying you just need to have a willingness and a servant's heart, and
absolutely.
So they would call you?
Correct.
Okay.
You can call me, or you can email or contact me on Facebook.
Okay, that'd be great. And there wouldn't be, is it basically any time they would volunteer, just as the need arises?
As the need arises.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for coming on the program today and sharing about Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, and congratulations
Thank you
on
so much.
our wonderful programs here, going to be shared on a national level. Thank you, Annette, for taking the time, and Jeffrey, thank you for serving our country and for taking the time to come and be with us today.
It was a pleasure.
Okay. Well, we are going to take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back, so please stay with us.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress.
Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do.
Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, I'm Rich from Sign Pro and Auto Trim Design, a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. Come and see us for all your sign and truck accessory needs.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connections, and it's time for our community announcements. First of all, the Owatonna Today Show would like to welcome our new show sponsor, Sign Pro and Auto Trim Design. We're so glad to have you as one of our new sponsors. The Owatonna Foundation is pleased to make available scholarships to graduating seniors at Owatonna schools. These scholarships are for students who will be attending non-four-year programs at technical community colleges to prepare themselves for their technical careers. Eligibility requirements include that recipients be a 2016 graduate and that they have a parent or guardian with a Steele County address. Scholarship awards range from $500 to $3,000 each, and applications must be submitted by April 10th. Applications and instructions are available at the Foundation's website, www.owatonnafoundation.org. For more information, you may also call the Owatonna Foundation office, 455-2995. And Owatonna, in support of Alzheimer's, is hosting its next program on Tuesday, March 22nd. It will be held from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Owatonna Public Library, the third floor Gainey Room. Making visits valuable will be an interactive format incorporating video presentations, TIPA Snow, and group discussion between each segment. Well, we want to thank you for joining us today, and we hope you enjoyed the program. And we ask that you join us on Wednesday when we're going to be talking with Megan Copeland on location at St. Paul's Episcopal Church. She did a Lenten lunch speaking engagement there. And then we'll be hosting the Owatonna Shriners Orthopedic. We're going to hear about their fundraiser for the orthopedic clinic. So we hope you have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you on Wednesday.